update. Brian Poole went out with a knee yesterday. No structural issues. We're double, triple checking everything, making sure that, we're good when we get him back out on the practice field. But things look like they're trending in the right direction. Having the week off should really help him to give us a good opportunity to get him back on the field by the time we start our next game preparation. And then Becton, he went out of the game with the chest. So really, what happened was it was a chest injury that caused, him to have difficulty breathing. So, we went through all kinds of things to, make sure that he was good. At the end of the end of the day, that we decided not to put him back in the game. Just making sure that, he was okay. We were concerned that, maybe there was something there we couldn't figure out. We just wanted to make sure, our trainers and doctors did everything they could to rule out any issues there. It's no kind of muscle injury or anything like that. So, we'll take this next week to really kind of keep looking at that and hopefully get to a point where he'll be ready to go for the next game. As far as Sam, he's feeling better. We'll keep working through his progression with the trainers. He's focused on trying to play this next game. We'll see where that ends up landing, through having a week of being able to rehab and then another week to prepare for a game. So I would say I'm not really sure, where that'll end up, but I know that he's doing everything he can to try to make himself available. So with that, any questions?
Connor from The Athletic, your line is active.
I guess that you mentioned on Becton, like you said he has trouble breathing. I guess I'm just kind of confused on what kind of injury it was. Was it just that he got hit really hard in the chest, so it was something to do lungs? What specifically was?
Yeah, I'm not really sure, Connor. This is an easy one for me because I don't always understand everything when I'm talking, with these specific of injuries. I'm not a doctor. Just going off of what the trainers and the doctors tell me. I don't know specifically when anything happened. I just know when he went out and what they told me, and then after the game, them, really today, them explaining to me kind of, why it took so long and what all the things they were trying to do to figure out, what was causing it.
Rich from ESPN, your line is active.
Adam, just to follow up on the Connor question, you must have some idea. Is this a lung thing we're talking about? Is it a heart-related issue?
No, they didn't say either one of those things to me. So, that's, I think they're just going to keep talking with him, kind of go through all the exacts and symptoms and why he felt certain ways at certain times. So it's hard for me to explain because I don't, like I said, I'm not a doctor, Rich. I just know that he couldn't play, and they're trying to put him in position where he can play the next game.
Ask Coach a question, press *3. Brian from the Post, your line is active.
Adam, after a loss like that, and you guys have sustained so many kind of gut punches this year, how do you keep things together? What was your message to the team today?
Well, there was so many things that were really good. It was just at the end of the day, they had the ball the entire fourth quarter. We had an opportunity, one on offense, to go win the game in a 2-minute drive, and then we had an opportunity on defense to stop them and extend the game, and we didn't accomplish either one of those. And the majority of the games in the NFL are going to come down to under 7 points, and it's going to be one side of the ball or the other that's going to have to either score or stop them. And we actually had both opportunities, and we failed on both of those. The effort was phenomenal. Just when you watch the tape and see how guys are flying around, there was a lot of things done the right way. The errors were extremely low compared to some of the previous games. It's just we did not finish the game the way that we needed to get a win.
Rich from ESPN, your line is active.
Going back to Sam's injury, you sounded reasonably optimistic. Is that a fair characterization that he'll be playing in the next game? And what hurdles would he have to clear before getting there?
Yeah, I mean, Rich, you're hitting me on, you're getting me right in my optimism. I like where his mind frame is and, how he's approaching everything. I think it's really going to come down to how he feels when he goes through, practice. Having that extra week to kind of go through the, day-by-day steps to get to that point where he feels good to practice is going to be key. We'll have a little bit of, he knows how it needs to feel heading into it. I think last week was a good indication of where he did not feel well enough. So hopefully this extra time will really help him and give him a shot to play.
Brian from the Post, your line is active.
Adam, when you look at the play where Flacco threw the interception with 6 minutes left, could you just take us through the thinking there, what you and Dow were talking about? Kind of, you're up by a touchdown, 6 minutes left, getting the ball at your own 18. Did you want to put your foot on the gas and be aggressive there? In hindsight, do you think you should have been more conservative? Just that whole situation.
Yeah, going back and look at it, the coverage they ran, there was an opportunity there. I think, Joe saw what the safety was doing, and he tried to put the ball where he thought the receiver would be running to. I think that's just one we're definitely going to have to learn on as far as trying to hook up on that route. You're always hoping for that to possibly be a 50-50 ball, at worst be an incompletion. If you want to win games in this game, you got to be aggressive. I thought, when the call was made, it was, that was the flow of the game. Joe was playing really well. We tried to put the ball in the hands of the guy that was, probably playing the, best out of everyone.
Al from Newsday, your line is active.
Yeah, Adam, we talk about how Sam's doing and all this. How do you think the young guys, the rookies, are handling this situation? Because they probably lost more than they ever have, in their lives.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of us in that boat. I think it's on the coaching staff and the veteran players to do the right things day in and day out, how we react to situations, how we prepare, how we go out and practice. Our mindset, our mentality of focusing on 1 week at a time, we gotta lead the way. I think especially this rookie class, these guys have done a good job of just focusing on the present, trying to get better, trying to make sure that when their number's called that they're available and they're ready to make plays. I know these guys are getting a ton of playing time now, and that's going to work to our benefit in the long run. I know it's frustrating right now to go through, but seeing these guys going out there and play, and the amount of guys that are playing that are rookies, I want to say we almost had 10 guys playing this last game. These guys, the thing that you can say is, the effort's through the roof. They're giving everything they have. We're gonna have to live through some mistakes, but at the same time, a lot of these guys are playmakers, and then they're going to help us, find ways to win games eventually.
Rich from ESPN, your line is active.
Adam, 2 specific questions about a specific times in the game. One, why not use the timeout at the end to ice the kicker? And secondly, right before that, on the last defensive play, on their last completion to set up Folk, there seemed to be some confusion in the type of coverage you guys were running there to leave the guy wide open. So if you could address those 2 points.
Yeah, we were in his zone. We were in his zone coverage, and we weren't tight enough. We didn't get it. We didn't have the zones. We weren't deep enough to discourage him from throwing that, and he threw a ball where the guy was able to catch it, get down, and we weren't tight enough on the back end. And as far as confusion, I mean, I don't know if there was necessarily confusion. I think guys were just trying to get everything lined up and get the calls, the strength calls right and things like that. I mean, that's down in and down out. And we go into games just talking through, hey, do we want to call timeout if we get in those kind of situations? Going in the game, that was something we were going to let it ride, and instead of calling a timeout.
We'll take a few more for Coach. Brian from the Post, your line is active.
Following up on that, Adam, I had a couple more game questions for you situationally. The second drive, 4th and 3, did you think about going for it there and plus territory?
Yeah, I did. That one I brought up this morning when I was talking to Joe Douglas about that. He's coming from a place that they made a killing on going for it on 4th down, in those situations, and I told him I really was thinking go for it, and then I don't know, there was something about, I didn't feel like I had the right call for that situation where it was on the field with what I thought they were going to do, and then that's why we ended up punting it. It was a good punt. We pinned it back. In my head, I'm thinking, let's make him drive the length of the field. So, whether I was right or wrong on that one, I mean, in the moment, I felt like that was the right decision to make. I wasn't feeling good about a 4th and 3 call.
The second one I had was the 12 men on the field on the field goal attempts. What happened there?
Yeah, we miscounted. We got all these guys double, triple checking, and somehow we had one more guy than we should have. That was that's bad ball right there.